Something huge is happening to the internet, right under our noses. The web as we know it is being rebuilt from the ground up, and almost nobody has noticed. Today, we're going to unpack this quiet revolution, pulling from the insights of industry expert Pierre Samadi's to see what it all means for our digital future.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a prediction that'll stop you in your tracks. An expert in the field is saying that 99% of all the crypto and Web3 projects out there today will be gone within 2 years. Now, that's not just a market correction, that's a sign of a massive, systemic problem hiding in plain sight.
So that 99%, that's not just a random number. It's pointing a giant, flashing arrow at a fundamental flaw in how nearly every decentralized app is built. It turns out the industry has been building on a foundation that's shockingly insecure, and now those cracks are really starting to show.
So what is this critical weakness? Well, you could call it the Web3 illusion. The big secret is that most projects aren't nearly as decentralized as they claim to be, and this hidden vulnerability is a ticking time bomb.
Let's pull back the curtain on how a typical decentralized app actually works. You see, when a project says it's built on a blockchain like Ethereum, what they really mean is that only the part that handles the tokens, the ledger, is decentralized. Everything else, the actual website you interact with, the front end, that's almost always running on a totally centralized server, like Amazon Web Services.
And right there, that's the Achilles heel, and creates one single point of failure. Hackers don't even need to bother trying to crack the blockchain's crazy strong cryptography. No, they just attack the simple web server. By hijacking the front end, they can secretly switch out code and trick you into signing transactions that drain your entire wallet. This is exactly how so many of the biggest crypto hacks have gone down.
Look, a security hole this big isn't something you can just slap a patch on. The whole system has to be rebuilt. This means we have to move away from this fragile, pieced-together model and towards something brand new, a protocol that's designed from the very beginning to be a true world computer.
And this is where a completely different approach comes into the picture, the Internet Computer Protocol, or ICP for short. Think of it like this. While Ethereum acts like a world calculator that's really good at one thing, handling token ledgers, ICP is designed to be a true world computer. That means the entire application, front-end, back-end, data, the whole shebang, runs directly on the blockchain. It's fully decentralized and completely tamper-proof.
And the benefit here is honestly a total game changer. When the entire stack is secured by the blockchain, that single point of failure just vanishes. The front end can't be secretly manipulated because the network itself would instantly reject any unauthorized change. This makes these apps safe not just from outside hackers, but from malicious insiders too.
Okay, so you've built this unhackable foundation. That's amazing. But how do you actually get developers to build on it? Well, this is where the explosion in AI completely flips the script. Think about how software has been built over the years. It started with craft coding, right? You needed these brilliant, highly specialized experts. Then, more recently, we got to what you could call vibe coding, where AI helps those experts work faster. But the next leap is here, self-writing code, where you don't even have to be a developer to create software. All you need is an idea.
And that brings us to a tool like Caffeine AI. It's literally just a chat interface. You talk to it, you describe the app you want in plain English. I want a social media site for dog lovers, for example. And the AI writes all the code and deploys it as a secure, full-stack, decentralized app right onto the internet computer. And if you want to change something, you just keep talking to it.
The impact of this is absolutely staggering. The entire Web3 ecosystem, across all the other chains combined, has about 25,000 active developers. In just 3 months, Caffeine AI brought in almost 200,000 new developers. That is 7 to 8 times the entire rest of the space. And here's the real kicker. Most of these new creators don't even know they're using Web3. They're just using a tool that lets them build cool stuff faster and better.
Now, this combination, a secure foundation plus AI that lets anyone build, is way bigger than just creating the next startup. It's actually solving a massive geopolitical problem that entire countries are waking up to: digital sovereignty.
See, a lot of governments are getting really nervous about how much they rely on foreign tech. Take a law like the U.S. Cloud Act. It basically says that if a country's data is on an American cloud server, even if that server is physically in Germany or Japan, the U.S. government can force the company to hand it over. For another nation, that's a huge national security risk.
And that threat is sparking a movement, a kind of new declaration of digital independence. Countries are now using ICP to create what are called sovereign subnets, Think of them as self-contained, secure digital backbones that run exclusively on data centers within their own borders. We're already seeing this happen with Switzerland and Pakistan, who are building their own national infrastructure totally free from foreign control.
So where is this all headed? Well, the really interesting part is that this isn't about one system completely replacing the old one. Instead, it's creating a much more flexible and resilient web, with 3 distinct paths you can take to build the future.
So this gives developers and even nations a choice. You can deploy on the main, globally distributed internet computer for maximum decentralization. Or you can build on a sovereign subnet if you need to meet specific national regulations. And get this, it's even possible to run a version of this technology on top of traditional cloud services like AWS, bringing all of these security and AI features to the infrastructure we already use today.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most powerful question of all. When the tools to build secure, independent software are put into the hands of anyone with an idea, not just an elite group of coders, what becomes possible? We're not just talking about rebuilding the web we have, we're talking about democratizing who gets to build it. The next chapter of the internet isn't just being written, it's being opened up for everyone.